Long ago in the land of Egypt, a baby boy was born. His name was Moses. Pharaoh's daughter found him by the river. She raised him as her own son. Moses grew up in the palace. He had everything a prince could want. But Moses knew he was different. He was not like the other Egyptians. His heart yearned for something more. He felt a connection to a people he had never known. One day, Moses saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. He was filled with anger. He struck down the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. Moses had made a choice. He could no longer ignore the suffering of his people. He knew his life in the palace was over. Moses fled into the desert. He left behind everything he knew. He was alone, but he was free. Moses lived in the desert for many years. He became a shepherd. One day he saw a strange sight. A bush was on fire, but it was not burning up. God spoke to Moses from the bush. God told Moses to go back to Egypt. He was to lead the Israelites out of slavery. Moses was afraid, but he trusted God. Moses returned to Egypt. He stood before Pharaoh. He told Pharaoh to let his people go. Pharaoh refused. He did not believe in Moses' God. He would not let the Israelites leave. God sent plagues upon Egypt. The Nile turned to blood. Frogs covered the land. Locusts ate the crops. Still, Pharaoh would not relent. Finally, Pharaoh agreed to let the Israelites go. They left Egypt in a hurry, but Pharaoh changed his mind. He sent his army after them. The Israelites were trapped between the army and the Red Sea. Moses raised his staff. God parted the waters of the sea. The Israelites walked across on dry ground. When the Egyptians followed, the waters closed over them. The Israelites were free. They wandered in the desert for 40 years. God led them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. He provided for their needs. He gave them manna to eat and water to drink. Moses climbed Mount Sinai. He met with God. God gave Moses the 10 Commandments. These were laws for the Israelites to live by. While Moses was on the mountain, the people grew restless. They made a golden calf and worshipped it. They forgot about God. Moses came down from the mountain. He was angry. He smashed the tablets of the 10 Commandments. He reminded the people of God's power and love. He pleaded with God to forgive them. God forgave the Israelites. He led them to the edge of the promised land. Moses was not allowed to enter. He had disobeyed God, but he saw it from afar. He knew that God would keep his promise. Moses gathered the Israelites together. He gave them his final blessings. He reminded them to love God and obey his laws. Moses died on Mount Nebo. He was 120 years old. He was a great leader. He was a man of God. He led the Israelites out of slavery. He gave them God's law. He showed them the way to the promised land. The story of Moses is a story of faith. It is a story of courage. It is a story of hope. It is a story that has inspired people for generations.